Istanbul, where East meets the West, the land that has seen so many civilizations from the Greeks and Romans to Ottomans and now an integral part of the Turkish Republic. A city that has been known by many names in its long and rich history, from Byzantium to Constantinople to what we now know as Istanbul. Once a holy Christian city, a cradle of Orthodox Christian civilization, eventually sacked by the Fourth Crusaders, and now a proud Islamic city, Istanbul has withered the test of time and thrived. You can spend an entire month here and still have more to see, but if you only have a few days like I did, watch till the end for my recommendation. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe buttons. Here are my top 8 places to see in Istanbul in 3 days. We have to start at the iconic landmark of Hagia Sofia. Built in the 4th century AD as a Greek Orthodox church, then turned into a mosque, to a museum, and recently back to a mosque. It has a beautiful outer design and even more beautiful interior. You can see people praying in the mosque that has the giant Quran verses posted all around, but you can also see the original Christian symbols, the Holy Cross, and numerous mosaics depicting the life of Jesus, Mary, and other biblical figures. Located right across the Hagia Sophia is the Blue Mosque. Built in the 1600s, the mosque has 5 main domes and 6 minarets. Just outside is the tomb of Sultan Ahmed along with other royal tombs. Built in the 1460s, Topkapi Palace was the primary residence of the Ottoman sultans. The palace has courtyards, kitchen, imperial council, the treasury, but the most famous is the harem, which was the home for the queen mother along with the concubines and the wives of the sultan, and was served by the harem eunuchs. Excluding the harem, my favorite was the imperial treasury that features an incredible collection of objects decorated with gold, silver, rubies and diamonds, as well as swords and daggers and armors from the sultans. The Dolmabahce Palace is the largest palace in Turkey. It served as the main administrative center of the Ottoman Empire in late 1800s and the early 1900s. Constructed on the Bosphorus Strait, the palace was envisioned as a symbol of luxury and spared no expense, which placed a huge financial burden on the empire. The father of the modern nation of Turkey lived here and spent the last days of his life in this palace. From 1557 to 2019, the Suleymaniye Mosque was the largest mosque in the city, even larger than the Blue Mosque. It was constructed by Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. The mosque complex, in addition to the mosque, houses the mausoleum of Suleiman, several Quran schools, public baths, a kitchen, and several other structures. Go to the rooftop of the restaurant adjacent to the mosque for the best views of the mosque and the city. The Istanbul Archaeological Museum is a group of 3 museums and have some amazing collection of ancient artifacts. The first is the main archaeological museum that has the sarcophagus of Alexander the Great that itself warrants a visit to this museum. The second is the Museum of the Ancient Orient that has collections relating to Anatolia, Mesopotamia, Egyptian and ancient Arabian arts and artifacts. The last is Museum of Islamic Art and contains many examples of Iznik tiles and pottery. The Galata Bridge is a famous bridge that spans the Golden Horn and one can walk across it by foot. The Galata Tower, built in 1348, is a prominent watchtower that offers incredible bird's eye view of the city. The Grand Bazaar is one of the largest and oldest covered markets in the world, with over 4,000 shops where you can find souvenirs, spices, carpets, cafes, and so much more. Its construction started in 1455, shortly after the Ottoman conquest of Constantinople, and was expanded several times later on. It has multiple entrances and is easy to get lost in there, but that's the fun part. You never know at which turn you'll see something you absolutely fall in love with and end up buying. So there you have it, my top 8 places to see in Istanbul. Be sure to check out the second part where I talk about my top 7 things to do in Istanbul.